going to raid the tiger who came for tea. Once there was a little girl called Sophie, and she was having tea with her mummy in the kitchen. Suddenly there was a ring at the door. Sophie's mummy said, "I wonder who that could be. It can't be the milkman because he came this morning. And it can't be the boy from the grocer because this isn't the day he comes. And it can't be Daddy because he's got his key. We'd better open the door and see."
Room on the Broom by Julia Donaldson. The witch had a cat and a very tall hat, and long ginger hair which she wore in a plait. How the cat purred and how the witch grinned, as they sat on their broomstick and flew through the wind. But how the witch wailed and how the cat spat, when the wind blew so wildly it blew off the hat. "Down!" cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the hat, but no hat could be found. Then out of the bushes on thundering paws there bounded a dog with the hat in his jaws. He dropped it politely, then eagerly said, as the witch pulled the hat firmly down on her head, "I am a dog as keen as can be. Is there room on the broom for a dog like me?" "Yes!" cried the witch, and the dog clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick and whoosh, they were gone.
Granny, before Mr. Parker turned up, he was telling me there was one jewel that you never stole, whispered Ben. There is something quite special that every great thief in the world would love to get their hands on, but it's impossible. It just can't be done. Bet you could do it, Granny. You're the greatest thief the world has ever known. Thank you, Ben. Perhaps I am, or rather was, and stealing these particular jewels might be every great thief's dream, but it would just be, well, impossible. Jewels? There's more than one? Yes, my dear. Last time anyone tried to steal them was 300 years ago. A Captain Blood, I believe. And I'm not sure the Queen would be best pleased, she chuckled. You don't mean the crown jewels? Yes, my boy.
My book today is Tabby McTat. So Tabby McTat was a busker's cat with a meow that was loud and strong. The two of them sang of this and that, and people threw coins in the old checked hat. And this was their favourite song. Me, you and the old guitar, how perfectly, perfectly happy we are. Meow and the old guitar, how perfectly happy we are. One morning while Fred ate some bacon and bread, McTat took a stroll round the block, then stopped for there on a doorstep sat a gorgeously glossy and green-eyed cat. She was black with one snowy white sock. Sock and McTat had a cat-to-cat chat, and that's how their story began.
One day they were bored. They had no games to play. Danny said, "Dinosaur, what shall we do today? We could mow the lawn, we could tidy the place, we could do our chores, or we could go to space. But you mustn't forget to have lunch," said their mummy. "You cannot have fun without food for your tummy." So they packed a packed lunch for the Science Museum, where rockets were kept if you wanted to see them.
Dinosaur rocket. Dinosaur rocket, waiting, waiting on the launch pad, having final checks. Check, check, check. Astronaut dinosaurs riding on the bus to the giant rocket. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Brave dinosaurs climbing into the rocket, right at the top. Clank, clank, clickety clank.
This is my favourite joke from my favourite joke book. How does the moon cut his hair? Eclipse it.
Once in a house on Egypt Street, there lived a rabbit who was made almost entirely of china. He had china arms and china legs, china paws and a china head, a china torso and a china nose. His arms and legs were jointed and joined by wire, and that his china elbows and his china knees could bend, giving him much needed freedom and movement. His ears were made of real rabbit fur, and beneath the fur there were strong bendable wires which allowed for his ears to be arranged into poses that reflected the rabbit's mood. Jaunty, tired, full of ennui, his tail too was made of real fur that was fluffy, soft and well shaped.
Ben had a dog called Scruffy. He was more than a dog, he was a very special friend. They went everywhere together, to the park, to the beach, to the shops. Ben loved nothing more than taking Scruffy for a walk, or rather being taken for a walk by Scruffy.
Grab a book, open it, relish it, ogle it, cherish it, hold it, hug it, live it, love it, cuddle it, choose it, hog it, don't lose it. Let it wow you, delight you, entertain you, excite you, educate you, inspire you, empower you, fire you. Feel it, own it, like it, loan it, enjoy it, admire it, adore it, befriend it, believe it, roll with it, read it. Go on, grab a book.
Who's that sitting in my chair? Oh, who's been sitting in my chair? Who's been sitting in my chair but I've broken it? Oh no, it's gone to pieces. Went up the stairs, the three bears, and they looked. Who's been sleeping in my bed? Oh, and who's been sleeping in my bed? Said Mummy Bear. And who's been sleeping in my bed and it's still there? Oh my goodness, it's baby Goldilocks! Ah!
Everyone, I'd like to share one of my favourite stories. It's called The Curse of the Night Wolf. I'm just going to read the very, very beginning. It's very, very spooky and creepy. I hope you enjoy it. Have you ever felt your skin being peeled slowly away from your arms and legs, your muscles being torn and shredded, and every bone in your body fights to burst through your flesh? Have you ever felt every tendon and sinew stretched to breaking point as your skeleton attempts to rip itself apart from inside? I have, and I'll never forget it.
At Irlam Primary, what a sight! World Book Day brought pure delight. Costumes bright and stories grand, magic filled the school first hand. Wizards, pirates, cats in hats, fairy wings and cloaks, imagine that. Dinosaurs stomped and dragons roared, while superheroes leapt and roared. The maths reader, oh what a game! Guess the teacher
Guess the name. A parrot, a fox, a big brown bear? You all stared hard, but who was there? Turning pages, having fun, sharing stories, everyone. At Irlam Primary, books shine bright, bringing joy and pure delight.
The bear never talks, but he smiles to himself and thinks as he settles back down on his shelf. I've been in a puddle, I've been down the drain, I've been in a boat and I've been in a crane. I've been in a shop and I've been on a skip. I've been on a lorry, I've been on a tip. I've been in a beacon, I've been in the air. No wonder they call me the Everywhere Bear.
Mrs. Twit had a clever idea to get back at Mr. Twit. She went outside, dug up some wiggly worms, and mixed them into his spaghetti. Mr. Twit slurped up a long slimy strand and smacked his lips. Mmm, delicious, he said. Mrs. Twit grinned. I gave it a special twist today. Mr. Twit kept chewing, then suddenly stopped. His face turned red. His eyes bulged. He picked up a worm and held it up. What's this? He roared. Just a new kind of spaghetti, Mrs. Twit cackled. It's called squiggly spaghetti.